Hello everyone, welcome to Just Painting for Fun. In this episode, we're traveling to Venice, Italy. The painting today we'll have a acrylic underpainting using gesso, yellow oxide, cadmium red, and burnt sienna. And then we're switching after the drawing to oil paint. The list is there. Okay, what you see here is the drawing finished. Here's the process. I'm using a 3/4 inch angle brush. I take the flat side and hold it sideways, so I'm drawing with the edge all the time instead of the flat part of the brush. I'm using acrylic alizarin crimson, and it's a alizarin crimson hue, which is a permanent color, and satin painting medium. I drew the entire picture lightly on the canvas with pencil before beginning, because this is a pretty elaborate composition, and I'm painting it now so I don't lose the drawing in the process of painting. I'm doing it in acrylic to speed it up time-wise, and you can paint over acrylic with oils. You just can't do it the other way around. You can't paint over oils with acrylics. Doing just a few of the shadow outlines in the water. Switching to a monochrome reference photo. We're doing old master style today, which means that everything will be painted in monochrome first, beginning with English red. I could use burnt sienna, burnt umber, raw umber. Most of the earth tones work well for this stage. They dry fast in oils, and they're cheaper color. This will all be covered with other colors. This is where we set the value portion of the painting. So no matter what the color is over top of it, the values are set now. So we're doing the entire painting in this monochrome color. I'm working at this point in oil paint. That's Lukas oils is what I use, and I like their oil color because they mix all their oil paint with a little bit of beeswax. Beeswax gives it a nice buttery texture. They're an old company. They've been producing paint since the 1800s. They're a German company. There's a letter that was written from Van Gogh to his brother mentioning Lukas oils. We believe he may have used Lukas oils at some point in his career. Okay, what you just saw was the finished English red monochrome painting. What I'm working on now is called the Grisaille. It's where the entire painting is painted gray. Now I know it looks like blue, but there's no blue. The colors mixed are ivory black and white. It looks blue because it's next to red. The contrast of it, just the cooler black makes it look blue. You'll be able to tell later when I actually start adding blue. You'll see the difference right away. I'm mixing the Lukas oils with Galkyd, which is an Alkyd um, by Gamsol, or by Gamblin. I'm also using Gamsol. Galkyd is a resin, so you can't mix, or you can't use some solvents with resins, so you have to be careful of that. If you use Galkyd, you won't be able to use some of the solvents, like the ones that are orange scented or things like that. They don't necessarily work with resin. All right, there's the nearly finished. As I cover it up, you'll see that some of it actually looks red. That's because I'm using the thin, with the grisaille, I go thinner or thicker. So some of the red comes through from the first layer. Where it's thicker, it looks more blue. There's the blue. You can see that wasn't blue in the background, just gray. Blue's a mixture, in this case, of titanium white, a little touch of zinc white, cyan and phthalo, a little touch of yellow ochre in the water here. Pale cadmium yellow a little bit where it's more green towards back there. One thing I was trying to capture in this picture was a lot of times when you see this image, it's an iconic image of Venice. Many people have painted this painting, this same scene. It's very photogenic. It's a lovely place, and one thing I wanted to get in there is that the three levels of water, the three types of water. So I included that center row just above the top of the boats, or just at the boats. There's that center row of floats. A lot of paintings leave those out. I wanted them because they mark the difference between where the motorboats are beyond, which a lot of people leave the motorboats out as well. But I like the difference in the water where they are versus just on the other side of those floats. It's where the motorboats are, it's rougher. Then you get just inside of the floats and it's calmer a little bit. Um, More lagoon-like. They call this the Venice Lagoon. And the water is much calmer. And then you get up close to the boats, and where the boats rock around, they have those little waves that are formed at the base. I want that those three tiers of water in my portrayal of this. You can see it a little more clearly in that. You can see the boats are starting to come together there in the back. Got to add some more details to the buildings and to the motorboats. Of course, more details required on the gondolas still. This took a long time to do. This is over several days because each part that's painted over another part, you have to wait until it dries. One of the reasons why I use Galkyd, which is an Alkyd, and blend that in with the oil paints is because it dries to the touch so you can paint over it in a day. So when I painted some of these areas, I could come back out and work on it the next day. If I was using plain oils like linseed oil, I would have to wait sometimes a week for certain colors before I could touch it again. It's a large painting. I really didn't want to wait that long. I like the way the Galkyd and Gamsol work. Gamsol is the solvent I use. Like I said, you can't use the citrus type solvents um, with the Galkyd because of the fact that it's a resin and not an oil. But the Gamsol works very well with it, both by Gamblin. I use some Gamblin oil colors too, but for the most part I use the Lukas oil paint because I like the addition of the beeswax in the formula. Okay, add a little bit more opaque colors to finish up here. In this style of painting, when you're working over top of the monochrome painting, underpainting, a lot of it is glazed over top, where we mix a mixture of the Galkyd and the Gamsol. In the color layers, it's about a 50-50 mix. And just lightly paint the color over top of the other, leaving little gaps to show through the underpainting in places. The covers over the boats, I used a color called royal blue, some cyan blue, and royal blue has a little bit of red in it, I think. It's kind of purpley colored. Nice colors, pretty. Adding some finer details using not actually using the 3/4 inch angle brush like it says here to fix that. Just the finished product. Not extremely detailed, but it's a painting. It's not the actual place, it's a painting. There we go. Thank you for watching.